their father
spread his butt cheeks.
Just getting so that made him just lose the day where he sits back into his car saying to himself, you know what, children, we're just gonna go home. And he just made the joke, but it was the reality of back then. I mean, you have to consider that the civil rights were during that time. It was very rough, but here he was just sharing to the public that there's things going on and there is a division, but yet he still made it funny enough where both the message was being portrayed.
Yeah.
And it is something that it technically peaked into the very famous event that happened in the 80s. And I think you know what I was talking about, where his publicist made it look like it was an accident, but in reality he admitted he was trying to commit suicide.
Well, remember we talked about the Buddhist monk that was protesting Vietnam War?
Yeah.
He remembers that was around that time, and he's seen that on TV. And he was just high. He was high on fucking freebase and crack.
Yeah.
And
cocaine.
He was free. Well, crack is cocaine.
Oh, yeah.
Freebase. You know, he was smoking crack, and then I think that shit has something to do with it. He seen that monk on TV, like they were showing footage of it, and he was, that's a good idea. Like, let me see, he don't, because the dude was just sitting there meditating. He wasn't moving or nothing.
Yeah, it was,
he was like, fucking,
very
political,
very powerful message.
They made it seem like it was an accident that he accidentally burned himself from smoking freebase, from freebase cocaine.
Yeah.
And he literally torched himself.
And in fact, all over the following news, they keep calling it the accident, when in reality it was an attempted suicide. It was an attempted suicide. It was very changed, and he even joked around it in a couple of his shows. He had really funny jokes about how it really changes your perspective and wakes you up and he realizes who was his best friends. He talked a lot about Jim Brown. Jim Brown, famous football player. And he always came to his home. And there was a really powerful message that Richard Pryor said. He said, Jim Brown told him, you can't fool me. I'm your real friend. Because if you want me to go, I'll go. But I'm your friend. And that made Richard Pryor really start understanding, he has to change his ways, really begin to focus more on appreciating life. And he did. He lived that way. He really did. It was really awesome.
Before he broke through, he wrote for Sanford and Son. He was like on the Flip Wilson show. He was on a few movies, but he really like broke through once he started making movies with Gene Wilder too, as far as like mainstream.
Yeah, he was supposed to be
he
in
co-wrote
the movie Silver. I'm sorry, he wasn't with Gene Wilder, but in Blazing Saddles, he was supposed to be.
He co-wrote it.
He co-wrote it.
Yeah, and they saying the studio couldn't insure him, so they chose some other actor, a black actor, to play.
But yeah, Silver Streak with Gene Wilder, Still Crazy, See No Evil, Hear No Evil, one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. It was just funny. You have to see it. If you haven't seen Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor together, I would recommend start with Silver Streak first, and then try See No Evil, Hear No Evil, because that's a really good premise. I think Richard Pryor was supposed to be blind, and Gene Wilder is supposed to be deaf. And so it's the chemistry between both of them trying to survive. It was really well put together. Silver Streak, I believe, is the one where Gene Wilder does blackface because he's trying to like evade the people, and it was just funny the way it was delivered. It was just so well put together. So that just shows you the type of artist that he was. Just the way he delivered. He wasn't afraid to speak about his own personal life, but yet made it funny, and set a great path for a lot of other comedians. Great inspiration for a lot of comedians.
He had a show, the Richard Pryor show, was on NBC, but it only lasted 4 episodes because they were scared to show his stuff. It was a comedy variety show.
Yeah, he was finally obviously, I can't even say that word.
That's crazy. The people that was on that show, the Richard Pryor show, Robin Williams, Paul Mooney, John Witherspoon, John Witherspoon, Pops from Wayne's Brothers. It's like bang, bang, bang. The dad from Friday.
Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about.
He was on it.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of Marshall Warfield, a bunch of people on that show. And it only lasted 4 episodes.
So he was a possum, obviously.
It was too controversial for NBC at the time.
Anyway, he was inducted in the International Mustache Hall of Fame in the category Film and Television in 2017 after he passed away. Of course, he unfortunately passed away. He was in 2005. So he really did the most that he could in his time here as an artist. If you were to say him being here now in our time, when things are going on, what do you think he would? You think he would be using Twitter?
Yeah, he would be saying whatever the fuck he wanted.
There's a really good clip, I believe, where Eddie Murphy got a call from Bill Cosby, and Eddie Murphy has that segment saying how Bill Cosby was telling Eddie Murphy, quit swearing, you don't have to swear. And then Bill Cosby called Richard Pryor, and Richard Pryor told Eddie Murphy, tell that man,
Tell that motherfucker.
kiss my ass. And it just demonstrates that Richard Pryor was about the art, because he said, is the audience laughing? Yes. Then you keep doing what the audience is laughing for. Like, don't give up if it's working.
Yeah, that shit's crazy. Like, he poured 151 Bacardi on him. You know,
Oh man,
that was his fuel to set on fire.
The thing about Richard Pryor is the fact that it was not. We keep saying he wasn't afraid, but he did break boundaries for sure. He did play in large stages.
He talked about it on his comedy special live on the Sunset Strip, and I even heard that they filmed that. They did it 2 days, and then the first day he bombed. That's what they said.
Yeah.
Like bombed completely. And then the next day he did the same material, and then he killed. He did good.
This just shows you just got to keep going. You just got to keep trying and trying.
Yeah.
Well,
That's just crazy because it was like after the burn incident, so he's talking about it, you know.
He had 6 wives, which is
Yeah, but that's
as many as Johnny Carson, I believe.
If you read the names, technically he married like 2 of them twice though. Like he divorced and remarried.
Yeah, it's about 6.
It's still 6, huh?
No, you're right, 5.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, 5. Yeah, you're right, 5.
He remarried.
Jennifer Lee twice.
Yeah,
Flynn.
he died. Like he was with her when he died, and then Flynn too.
Yeah.
So it's only 5. Really 4, right? Oh, it's 5.
No, it's 5.
That's
But
crazy.
that's
6
the thing
children,
about him.
7 children, 5 wives.
But his comedy is still immortalized
For sure.
on YouTube. If you haven't heard much about Richard Pryor, definitely you should look up his shows on YouTube. We'll pull up some of our favorite links below, so you guys can check it out. There's a lot of examples on YouTube, and you'll be able to see what he's so good at.
The best documentary about it's a lot of comedians just like giving commentary on them, but the best one is the one that came out. It was the last one in 2013 called Richard Pryor, Omit the Logic. It's a pretty good deep one, just about his just the way he worked,
He is a Mark Twain Prize recipient back in 1998.
Damn, I wish I could see that. Because there's always a bunch of comedians that do jokes in between, like when they give him the award. I seen Eddie Murphy come up.
He's just a great guy. Just Richard Pryor. I wish I had the privilege, the opportunity to have seen him on the shows back in the day. That would have been an amazing.
He ended up getting MS, so he couldn't perform as much in his later years. But he still lived pretty long though. Like, people didn't expect. I know he didn't expect to live that long, because he was 65 when he died, which is still it's pretty old.
That's what that's
the
a length of time.
The lifestyle he lived, that's pretty old.
Almost a rock style lifestyle.
Definitely rock star. You know how much cocaine he did in his life? And then he had MS though, so he couldn't perform as much. He was like, he was wheelchair weird.
Just an overall amazing individual.
But he's still like, if you name anyone, or if you ask any comedian, like top 5, dead or alive, he's definitely gonna be on the list. Comedy Central list him all-time greatest stand-up, number 1. Rolling Stone ranked him first on its list of 50 best stand-up comics of all time.
Which is your favorite joke from him? You remember?
It's a few. Like, I can't. It's a few. It's
He's got a lot.
He has so many albums, but like I said, the Live from Long Beach, where he talks about shooting his car. Where he's like, he shot one of his ex-wives trying to leave with his car, so he shot the tires out. And he explained the way the sound was. Like he said, the tires were screaming. He was like, and he said, he's like, he realized when the cops was coming, he's like, they got guns too. They don't shoot cars. They shoot niggas. So he went back in the house.
That was Richard Pryor, man. Back in the day, telling it how it is.
Just telling a real story, but being funny in his own right, you know.
There's one that makes me laugh. That's so odd. It's just him, just sharing with you his thoughts. He says that somebody gave him a monkey. He had a little tiny monkey, and you always hear, like, he got out of his cage and he started trying to screw him in his ear. And he told him outside he would go up into the tree and he was always trying to screw things. And finally his little monkey died. He was so sad. And he says a dog came over and said, "Hey man, what's wrong?" "Oh, my monkey died." "Oh man, your monkey died?" Just the way he delivered the story. And he says the dog would walk away and says, "Hey, I'm gonna chase you tomorrow, by the way." It's just
He's dead.
surreal. It's just so well delivered, and only Richard Pryor would be the one who can do that. An amazing individual who had that ability to portray and also break boundaries. So awesome. Hey, if you guys have any recommendations of other comedians you would like for us to talk about, let us know in the comments. Really appreciate it. Something we may have missed, please put it in the comments. Definitely saw me make a few errors because, you know, I still have a couple. I still get nervous in front of the camera. But as you can see, we really enjoy it. One thing for sure, Jamario McClain, anything else you want to tell us?
Live long and prosper. Live to laugh, laugh to live.
Peace.